Hello everyone, and welcome to part 1 of What If Seaspray Survived. So without further ado, let's get right to it. So we kick off this story in deep space, where Wheeljack is excited to reunite with a fellow wrecker of his. An explosion then happens. Wheeljack's like, no. But lo and behold, Seaspray survived, floating through space. Kinda injured, but he's alright, cause he is a wrecker. Wheeljack brings the Seaspray on board his ship. You alright there, bud? I'm fine, but that blasted con destroyed my ship. Alrighty then, let's get us a con. Soon enough, they find Dreadwing, and they follow him back to planet Earth. Soon enough, the two ships crash on Earth, and Dreadwing, Wheeljack, and Seaspray all get into a shootout. Soon enough, Team Prime arrives. Bulkhead and Seaspray see each other. How you been, you old barnacle butt? What's up, Bulky? The rust hasn't set in on you, I see yet. RC then says, not the time, Bulk. Just like in canon, Wheeljack destroys that gas station. Both Seaspray and Wheeljack want to chase Dreadwing, but Optimus says the same thing in canon. While upon this world, you would do best to follow my lead. Back at the Autobot base, Wheeljack and Seaspray, mostly Seaspray, are getting repairs from Ratchet, and they both explain their stories to the Autobots, and of Dreadwing and all that. Soon, Agent Fowler arrives, and both Wheeljack and Seaspray say that they're not one of Optimus Prime's people. Meanwhile, at the Nemesis, Dreadwing comes before Megatron, and that conversation goes more or less the same, but this is one key difference. Along with me came the Autobot known as Wheeljack, and another Autobot known as Seaspray. The Autobots may have grown one, but so have we. Welcome to Earth, Dreadwing. So we have Bulkhead walking up to Wheeljack and Seaspray. Listen guys, even if it weren't for the humans, we couldn't take on the cons right now, we're outnumbered. Wheeljack then says all the dead wreckers' names, except Seaspray of course. Bulkhead then says, but if we get behind Optimus, we have a chance to end this, once and for all. Seaspray is more willing to join Optimus than Wheeljack is, because he says the same thing like in canon. Soon enough, Dreadwing comes in over comms, and the three wreckers set out to face Dreadwing. Seaspray and Wheeljack walk up to Dreadwing. I didn't think you'd both arrive. They look at each other, then look at Dreadwing. Seaspray says, we don't like unfinished business. The same thing happens where Wheeljack and Dreadwing throw grenades at each other, causing an explosion. Seaspray is the one to run out at Dreadwing, using a harpoon type thing as like a melee weapon, because I think a lot of boats can shoot it out. Like, he could shoot it out from right under his hand, and then he grabs it and he could use it as a melee weapon. And it could also launch at people. Both Seaspray and Wheeljack begin to overwhelm Dreadwing, which causes him to run away. And the same thing happens where Bulkhead is setting a trap for Dreadwing, but the bomb explodes, causing Dreadwing to take him. That part happens where Optimus comes to save Wheeljack and Seaspray. Wheeljack is just like how he was to Optimus in canon, but Seaspray is slowly warming up to him. You guys get what I mean? He's gonna be the one to warm up to the Autobots in this episode. You'll see. So soon enough, they set out to find Bulkhead. Once they find Bulkhead, they think of a plan instantly. Wheeljack stays to defuse the bomb. Soon enough, Dreadwing turns to just see Wheeljack defusing Bulkhead's bomb. Where's Seaspray in the Prime? Soon enough, Optimus Prime speaks to Dreadwing, which lowers him to that area, and that is where Seaspray kicks him into the water, where Seaspray is punching Dreadwing and Dreadwing is punching back. That is when Seaspray uses his turbines to knock Dreadwing down. Defuse the bomb, now! Dreadwing then says, never. That is when Seaspray throws Dreadwing back up to the surface, and Optimus throws the same thing on him like he did in canon. Defuse the bomb, Dreadwing, or fall victim to your own device. By the way, this is Dreadwing's view right here, everyone. And Dreadwing agrees, defusing Bulkhead's bomb. And before he could activate the bombs to make his escape, Seaspray right away tackles him, knocking his controls off his hands. "You're not going anywhere." Seaspray then looks to his fellow Autobots. "Yeah, I know how he's like." No escape and being restrained by Seaspray means that Dreadwing is taken prisoner to the Autobot base. A few hours back at the Autobot base, Seaspray has agreed to stay on Earth, and Seaspray and him look to Wheeljack. "Wheeljack, you are more than welcome to stay with us." Wheeljack kind of starts to think about it, but that's when Seaspray said, "Come on, Jackie, it's you, me, and Bulk. We could reform the Wreckers here." And as much as Wheeljack wants to leave here, he does not want to leave the Wreckers behind, so he decides to stay. Him and Seaspray scanning their vehicle modes, and with that, Wheeljack and Seaspray have officially joined Team Prime. Meanwhile, back at the Nemesis, Megatron looks at Soundwave. "Where is Dreadwing? Why can we not establish communication with him?" Soundwave tries, but one conclusion comes into Megatron's head. He has fallen. We now get to Arachnid's assassination attempt, where Megatron is actually the one to go himself because he doesn't want to risk any more comrades knowing Arachnid. So Megatron decides to handle this assassination attempt himself. But Arachnid is smart enough, and she knows that this is an assassination attempt, and she does manage to escape. Megatron is then like, "No matter, until we meet again, Arachnid," and he leaves to the Nemesis. Meanwhile, in the mines, Starscream comes across the Decepticon, and mind you, there is no Arachnid in the mines, so the Decepticon looks at Starscream, then bows before him. "Ah yes, this could be the tool I need to be rid of all my enemies." Starscream thinks of a plan, and sooner or later he contacts the Autobot base, and they arrive where he says he was wounded by an Decepticon wanting to kill him, and that has the Autobots fall for his trap, so they fix him off and they're on their way. Sooner or later he contacts the Nemesis, calling out Megatron to a fight. Starscream. Megatron arrives at the mines. "Starscream, your stay of execution has come to an end." Starscream then says, "I wouldn't be so sure about that, Megatron." That is when the Decepticon jumps out and fights Megatron. Soon enough, the Autobots arrive to the mine. "Wheeljack, Seaspray, stay out here and guard the perimeter. The rest of us, let's move in." The four head into the mines, and RC decides to go and fight Starscream, going outside just like in canon. Bulkhead, Bumblebee, and Optimus surround Megatron, and Optimus is about to kill Megatron. "Go on, Prime. Do it. Just like you killed Dreadwing." That is when Soundwave and a group of Vehicons come into the room and surround the Autobots, ordering them to hand over Megatron. Soon enough, Megatron and Soundwave take their time and retreat, leaving. "Soundwave, given recent events, you will be my second in command." Meanwhile, Starscream has RC pinned to the ground, ready to kill her. But that is when Wheeljack and Seaspray fire at Starscream from both angles, and within the distraction, that causes RC to rapidly punch Starscream. Seaspray then picks up Starscream and throws him into the air away from everybody, far away. "Get lost, Screamy." So back at the Autobot base, Seaspray, Wheeljack, and Bulkhead are all enjoying a nice game of dodgeball. Meanwhile, Optimus goes to Dreadwing's cell. "Dreadwing, assist us in locating the Nemesis, so we may end this war, once and for all." Dreadwing makes a face, like, "Oh, sure he'll help. The ones whom destroyed his twin brother Skyquake." Soon enough, we see Starscream walk into the cavern, full of the Decepticons in their stasis pods. "Ah yes, this will most certainly do." And that's where I'm going to leave it off here, everybody. Hopefully you guys enjoyed part 1, and I'll see you guys in part 2.